The person who invented the engine is really smart. This issue, known as the speed bump for boys, will give you a detailed understanding of the working principle of a gasoline engine. If you happen to have a car, you can take the engine apart and examine it based on the video. This is our common piston engine, which can be arranged in a variety of configurations, including inline, opposed, V-type, or flat. The more cylinders you have, the more power you can output, which also increases fuel consumption. Here is the detailed structure inside the engine. First, the intake valve opens, the piston moves downward, and the mixture of air and gasoline flows into the cylinder. This is the intake process. The intake valve then closes, preventing further inhalation of fuel and causing the mixture to be compressed at high temperatures, which is called compression. An explosion occurs when a spark plug ignites the compressed mixture of gases, and the force from the explosion drives the piston downward, which is called a power stroke. Then the exhaust valve opens and the piston rises to expel the exhaust gas. This process is called the exhaust stroke. Simply put, gasoline burns in this internal structure to generate heat energy. The special design of the crankshaft converts this energy into mechanical motion, which is finally transmitted to the wheels as continuous power. Coolant circulates around the cylinder to prevent overheating. The piston has 3 rings. The upper 2 are compression rings, which prevent flue gas and oil from flowing downward, and the lower one is an oil ring. Its function is to continuously apply oil to the inner wall of the cylinder, mainly for lubrication. Above it is the crankshaft, which converts the linear motion of the piston into rotational motion. According to the movement of the camshaft, the opening and closing of the valves are controlled through the crankshaft or a timing belt. Usually the durability of the belt is weaker, so chains are used more often, but they also generate more noise. There are 2 types of camshafts. One is called DOHC, which is also the type used in the above animation. There is also SOHC, which is characterized by using a single camshaft to control both the intake and exhaust valves. Inside the throttle body is a throttling method. When you step on the accelerator pedal, this valve opens, allowing a large amount of air to enter, which is then evenly distributed to each cylinder through the intake manifold. This is a linear 4-cylinder engine, with 4 cylinders arranged in a straight line, also known as the L4 engine. As you can see from this simple model, the fuel enters the intake manifold and is divided according to the number of cylinders. But after the gasoline is burned in this engine and generates heat, the excess waste is discharged from the exhaust pipe. As the number of cylinders increases, the length of the engine becomes longer, and the body appears wider. However, many car brands now choose V6 engines. By arranging 6 cylinders in a V configuration, the length of the engine and the width of the car can be reduced, but the inline engine is quieter, and the power output will be smoother. This video briefly introduces the working principles of the piston engine.